Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to do a full face of affordable makeup that I wish I would have tried sooner. I feel like because of my job to review makeup for you guys, I'm usually testing out new makeup quite a bit. But then there's the occasional older product that I discover off camera. Sometimes they're recommended from you guys. And when I try them, I think to myself, why did I wait this long to try this out? I wish I would have found this sooner. So I'm gonna be doing a full face of products that give me that feeling of I wish I would have known about these earlier so I could have enjoyed them for a longer period of time, because there's just so many good products out there and I'm excited to share them all with you. So I'm gonna be starting off with some complexion products that I really genuinely wish I would have known about sooner. I feel like I had heard about this brand for a while. I had heard such good things about it, and then it took me a while to like finally try it, and once I did, I really fell in love. You guys have heard me talk about these products so often. So I'm gonna be using some of my favorite Haley's Beauty complexion products, and I'm so excited because today's video is sponsored by Haley's Beauty. We have been wanting to work together for a long time now, so I'm really excited that we're finally working together on this video. You guys already know, if you've watched my videos, I've used this several times on my channel. Obviously, I'm going to demo this for you guys in a little bit if you haven't seen me use this on my channel, because it's just such a good foundation. And we're also going to be doing a giveaway together, so if you guys want more info on that, I'll have it in the description box and I'll tell you guys more about it in a second. There's going to be 15 winners, and also there's a 30% off friends and family sale happening on their website right now. So if you guys haven't tried this yet, now is the time. Obviously, again, I'll share with you my personal favorite products from them. The sale starts today and ends on the 16th of March. There's no code needed. So if you're looking for a new refresh in your complexion, definitely check out their website, check out their sale. Let's start off with complexion. I feel like I definitely need to just show you guys how this looks on camera. One of my favorite things about this particular foundation, which by the way, this is the Haley's Beauty Reform Liquid Luxe Foundation. First of all, love the packaging. I'm gonna go ahead and do one pump on the back of my hand. I'm just gonna start applying this with a brush on one half of my face. I'm gonna do one half so you guys can see the difference. One thing I have loved about this foundation ever since I tried it, I think I actually did like a first impressions on this foundation somewhere on my channel, and immediately I loved how good of a foundation match this is. This is one of the best shade matches for me personally, which is always so nice. By the way, I wear the shade 215 in this foundation. This foundation in particular has a little bit more of a dewy finish, which is what I am reaching for right now. My skin gets so dry in the winter time, so I love the finish that this gives. It's a nice, natural, dewy finish. You can see how beautiful and skin-like the finish is, but it doesn't have any oil in it. So if you're kind of nervous about a dewy foundation being greasy, you don't have to worry about this with this particular formula. I really, really love it. So I'm blending this out now with the Haley's Beauty Remix Complexion Sponge, which is such a nice sponge. Just pressing this into the skin to get the most natural finish possible. I feel like this foundation also is really lightweight, and you can also build coverage, which if you don't already know, that's the kind of formula that I prefer because I do have redness and acne scars on my complexion, so the amount of coverage that I need fluctuates. So I personally need a foundation that can build up over any red spots that I might have, or if I'm having a better skin day, I can kind of sheer it out and let my skin show through. So here's the difference. This is my complexion without foundation, obviously, and this is with it. I feel like it really is such a beautiful natural finish. The coverage is perfect for me. This wears really beautifully on my skin too. I've been wearing this for months now. You guys probably know, you've seen it on my channel, so definitely a foundation worth checking out. Let's go ahead and apply this on the other side of my face. But yeah, I definitely feel like this is a brand that I had heard some buzz around, and I just didn't try it for the longest time, and I'm so happy that I finally tried it because it really is such an amazing brand for like affordable complexion products that look and feel and perform like so many of my luxury products, and even better than so many of my high-end foundations, honestly. Going back over this side with the Haley's Beauty sponge. So here's my complexion now that I've got the foundation all over the skin. If you guys want to enter to win this foundation, it's going to be a giveaway over on Instagram on the Haley's Beauty Instagram account. The rules are really, really easy. All you have to do is be subscribed to me here, follow me on Instagram, also follow Haley's Beauty over on Instagram, and then save the post and tag one friend, and you'll be entered for a chance to win my favorite foundation from Haley's Beauty. You'll also get the Remix Complexion Sponge that I just used, and it will be in this cute little Haley's Beauty makeup bag. So again, there will be 15 winners. So if you want to participate in that, I will have the info in the description box. All right, sticking with the Haley's Beauty theme, we're gonna go into the Haley's Beauty Revive Concealer. I've used this on my channel several times as well. I wanna say this is also the shade 215. I'll have my exact shade in the description box. I'm gonna go ahead and apply it right here in the inner corner and then on the outer corner of the eye as well. I really, really like the consistency of this concealer. I feel like it's not too thin to where it doesn't give the right amount of coverage, but it's also not too thick to where it doesn't look natural. It's just that perfect in between. Somehow it's also like a matte formula, but it doesn't feel drying, which is really nice as well. So I'm just gonna take that Haley's Beauty sponge and blend this out in the center of my complexion. Also, fun fact about Haley's Beauty that I recently learned, it was founded by a female chemist named Ashley Ocampo, which I think is so cool that she was a chemist and then wanted to create products that she felt like was missing in the makeup industry, which I think is so amazing. I always love the behind the scenes and like the backstories of brands, so that's a little fun fact for you. All right, complexion is done. Honestly, you guys, I love how this looks. I'll get up close so you guys can see how natural this looks. It wears so beautifully on the skin. Haley's Beauty specializes in complexion products, so if you're looking for a matte foundation, they also have a matte foundation that's really nice as well. We're gonna move on to powder. This is a powder that I had heard you guys tell me about for a long, long time, and then I finally tried it and I understood what the hype was all about. This is not a new product by any means. There's actually two powders from the same brand that I'm gonna be using today, but I'm gonna start off with a loose powder. This is the No. 7 Translucent Perfect Light powder. I have loved this for a long time, and for a while it was hard for me to find a more affordable powder option that fit my personal preferences. And then I discovered this and it is so good, you guys. So I'm gonna actually use this all over the face. I'm gonna start off underneath the eyes lightly. I always like to press the powder into the T-zone because I personally get oily throughout the day there. So I'll take a more flat or dense brush in the T-zone just to kind of make sure my foundation and concealer doesn't slip around in the areas that I get oily. And then I'll take a little bit more of a fluffy brush with less powder and just kind of press on the outsides of the face. You don't need to do this if you don't apply coverage to the outside of your face. If you're like me though, and you have a little bit of redness, I always play it safe and just like powder it a little bit to make sure it doesn't move around throughout the day. Now that the powder's on, I always like to go over my loose powder with my sponge. So I'm gently gonna take that Haley's Beauty sponge and just press over this, and it's gonna take away any of the excess powder sitting on top of the skin and also kind of rehydrate that surface so it won't look dry, you know? This is actually a tip that I wish I would have tried sooner. I had seen a couple people do this, but I was honestly terrified to use my damp sponge over powder. I thought it would just like remove everything, which you do have to be careful that it won't by using really, really gentle pressure, and don't swipe the makeup. Obviously that would definitely make it go away underneath. But if you just gently press over the complexion, the water that's left on the sponge will really, really press in the powder. It makes the skin look so beautiful and so natural. So I always love to do that tip. Just taking what's left on the sponge and going over my eyelids. Okay, this is also one that is more of a recent find that I feel like I wish I would have known about earlier as well. I've been using this quite a bit on my channel recently because it has just floored me every single time I use it. It's also from No. 7, and this is the No. 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Translucent Finishing Powder in the shade Light. I used this in my dupe video where I tested out your favorite dupes. And this is another product that I feel like I've seen you guys comment on my videos about, saying that I should try it. I've actually had this for a while now, but I have fallen in love with it like crazy over the past couple of weeks especially. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush powder, and it is just so beautiful. I love to use this more in like the T-zone to just really smooth out the complexion. And it has a little bit of a glow to it, I feel like, so it doesn't look powdery either. But I also go back over it with my sponge just again to make sure that there isn't any powdery finish. Okay, next we're gonna do bronzer and blush and highlighter, and this is all gonna be in one palette. I love this palette. This is another thing I truly wish I would have known about earlier, because as soon as I tried it, I fell in love with this. And it's just so versatile. It's so great for every day. This is from the brand The Lip Bar. It's looking a little bit loved right now because there's some powder in the window there, but just ignore that. And here's the inside. Now this comes in so many different shades. I have the shade Go Off, which is for fair skin tones, which I absolutely love. So your bronzer is gonna work for you, your highlighter is gonna work for you, the blush is beautiful, and then this is more of like a brightening powder for under the eyes. Again, they have so many different shades, so you'll be able to find something no matter what your skin tone is. It's amazing. I've already talked about this so many times on my channel, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my entire complexion with this palette. Using the bronzer first, I'm going to just apply this to the outsides of my face. I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. Every single time I use this, I'm reminded. I love that this bronzer is for fair skin, but it kind of has a little bit of an olive undertone, which for me personally makes me feel like it looks more natural. Because I feel like sometimes when you have really fair skin, finding a bronzer that's not too orange and warm is kind of hard to do. Also, finding a bronzer that's not going to be too red is hard to do. This one truly does have an olivey undertone, which is not common in my opinion when it comes to finding a bronzer for fair skin tones. So I really love it for that reason. I'm just going to go ahead and warm up the entire complexion with this. Ah, doesn't it look so natural? Is it just me? I love this bronzer so much. I'm gonna go back over with the brush that we used for the powder on the outsides of my face. I like to do this when I use bronzer just to make sure there's no visible like start and stop points when it comes to where my bronzer has been applied. I just want it to look like I'm naturally sun-kissed. So pretty. Okay. I personally have been doing this little trick for a while now where I use the highlighter before blush. I find that it helps when you apply the blush create more of a seamless cheek look versus having like bronzer, blush, and then highlight on the top. It helps kind of blend it in. So I'm going into the same lip bar palette. Now this is the highlight called Shine. A little goes a long way with this, but I absolutely love it. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to the high points of the face, kind of in a C shape there, so that when I turn my head, the light catches the cheekbones where it would naturally reflect, if that makes sense. This is so pretty. I love this one. Also gonna put a little bit right here on the center of the nose and then on the Cupid's bow. I also like to put a little on the brow right here, like just above the brow. Again, so that when the light hits, you kind of have this luminous, healthy glow on the side of your face. You guessed it. I like to go over this as well with a sponge because I think what makes a highlighter look really nice is when it has that dewy, almost wet skin look. And when you're using a powder highlighter, sometimes you can have more of a powdery finish, obviously. So it really helps to gently press over it with a sponge to, again, just gently melt the powders into the skin. I think it just helps everything look super natural. Love that. All right, we're gonna go into the blush in this palette, which I'm obsessed with this shade. It's so beautiful for every day. I'm just gonna smile and apply this to the apples of the cheeks. And again, I don't care if it goes over the highlight. I actually prefer if it goes over the highlight a little bit because then it blends the bronzer and the highlight together. Same thing on this side. Okay, so now I know I already used the number 7 powder under the eyes, but just to show you guys how amazing this powder is, this is like a brightening powder for the center of your face or for under the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this just right under my eyes here to brighten and lift that a little bit. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but to me, this side looks more awake than this side, but it's not a heavy formula, which I really, really appreciate about this. So it makes it really foolproof under the eyes. Sometimes I also apply it right here just to kind of lift that area as well. Okay, complexion looks amazing. Before we move on, just one last time going over with my sponge. Don't underestimate the sponge layers, okay? It really makes the biggest difference to go in after powder and just mesh everything together with a sponge. Okay, we're gonna move on to eyes, and this is a palette that was launched for a long time, and this is also a product that I didn't pick up on my own until you guys told me to. I picked this up initially, I think, in a video where I tried out your Holy Grail makeup, and as soon as I tried it, I understood why you love it so much. I think the shades are really versatile, great for every day, but also great for a more glam look. I already am obsessed with ColourPop eyeshadows, and so this is a ColourPop eyeshadow, but this is from the Disney Designer Collection. This is called It's a Princess Thing. I'll show you guys the inside, even though I'm sure you already know what it looks like because a lot of you probably have this. But as you can see, you have really beautiful neutrals, warm tones, cool tones. There's really fun bronze colors. You can do a smoky silvery eye. You can also do something purple. It's really versatile and beautiful. So I'm so happy that I finally picked this up when I did. I've had this palette for a while now, but I could have been enjoying it for longer than I have. if I would have picked it up when it launched, you know? We're gonna start off with the shade Chip. I'm gonna tap off the excess, and I'm just gonna lightly dust a layer of this all over the lid as my base. All right, next I'm gonna take this shade right here called Grumpy, tapping off the excess as well. And I'm gonna start building this up in the crease and a little bit above as my transition shade. I'm working in really, really light layers, especially since we did the complexion first. To avoid fallout, I like to use really, really light layers and just take my time blending. That's ultimately how you get the best result anyway. Little light layers. I'm taking that same shade and the same brush. I'm just gonna pinch the brush because that's what I do when I'm lazy and when I don't want to dirty up more brushes. And I'm just gonna buff this across the entire lower lash line. Since this is such a soft shade, it does not have to be perfect at all, but I'm just wanting to kind of match that color that we put on the top lid along the lower lash line. All right, we're gonna start to deepen things up with this shade right here called Triton. It's a beautiful warm brown. Again, tapping off the excess and then going in light layers. I'm gonna start by applying this on the outer corner. This is one of my favorite shades in the palette because it's a matte, but it's not. It's got more of like a sheen once you actually blend it out. But in the pan, it appears to be a matte and it like blends out like a matte shadow would. I absolutely love this one. I'm gonna take a smaller brush with that same shade, and I really want to apply this really close to the lower lash line, focusing on the outer third, but I am taking it in pretty far. Not quite all the way into the inner corner, but pretty close. I'm going back in with the brush that we first used. I didn't add any more product to it, but I like to do this after applying the outer corner shade to really blend the two colors together from this area up into the transition. I'm really feeling like using Enchanted Rose today, so I'm gonna take this on my finger. I always like to apply shimmer shades with my finger for the best payoff. I'm gonna go ahead and start to apply this on the lid. This is such a beautiful kind of bronze rose shade. That's like the best words I can use to describe this color. Same thing on this eye. I'm also gonna take a little bit of that same shade and spray my brush with a setting spray so that it's damp. That way I can apply it right here to the lower lash line without any fallout. Taking a detailed brush, I'm just gonna dip into Fairy Godmother. And again, for the most payoff and for minimal fallout, I'm gonna spray my brush, tap off the excess, and I'm wanting to start applying this in the inner third just to create a little bit of soft dimension. And of course, I'm going to take what's left and apply it on the lower lash line in that inner third, just right here. Same thing on the other eye. All right, this is where I'm going to come in with that really fluffy brush we used in the very beginning. And I'm buffing the bottom edges of the lower lash line. And I'm also going to come in here and just soften up this inner corner edge as well. All right, we're going to dip into Prince Charming, which is a really beautiful highlight shade. This is pretty intense. So I'm just taking a little bit of this at first, popping it into the inner corner. And then I'm feeling like highlighting this inner crease. So I'm just gently going to follow that inner crease. It honestly, if you're following along, it helps me for some reason to like pull my head back a little bit and look down into a mirror. Then I'm really able to see where that inner crease is and just follow it. I'm also going to take that same color and highlight right underneath the brow bone. All right, I'm taking my brush that we used with the powder and just sweeping away any fallout. I love how that look turned out. For mascara, this is another thing that I bought because of you guys. There's kind of a theme here actually. It's the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. This is not new to the market. It had been around for so long before I finally fell in love with it. And now I don't know what I ever did without it. Like I really honestly don't know why I didn't take this recommendation seriously from you guys in the beginning. You know how it is with mascaras though. Like it's really hard to branch out and try new ones, but I'm telling you, this is a really good drugstore mascara. So I'm gonna apply this on the top and bottom lashes, and I'm gonna really build it up because we do have a little bit more of a smoky eye. It's still very soft and natural, but anytime I do shadow that's a little bit darker, I like to really beef up the mascara for that contrast. Mascara makes all the difference, doesn't it? You know, in my 21 questions video, and if you don't, I created a tag a while back with 21 questions, all makeup related. So I'll have that video in the description if you haven't seen it yet. But one of the questions was, what's your favorite step in your makeup routine? I said bronzer. I still stand by that, but a close second has to be mascara. I feel like that's when things really start to transform for me. Okay, mascara is done. I'm now going to wipe off any foundation that got on the lips And then for lips, I feel like this won't come as a surprise to anybody who is familiar with my affordable makeup favorites, but I'm going to do this lip combo again because I love it so much. Listen, I couldn't decide between two lip liners. I think I'm going to use the one that I don't use as often because I use this one so much, but I'm still going to mention this one. This is the NYX Nude Suede Shoes lip liner. So amazing. I love this one. I also learned about this from you guys as well. My goodness, you've shown me so many amazing products, so thank you. This NYX lip liner in the shade Natural, however, I discovered from one of my favorite beauty influencers here on YouTube. Her name is Allie. I will have her channel down below if you want to check her out. I'm obsessed with her. But she fell in love with the NYX lip pencil in the shade Natural. So I bought this because of her and I'm just incredibly in love with it. This one is pink as well, but it leans slightly a little more brown than the Nude Suede Shoes. So I'm just gonna line and fill in the lips with this. I mean, how beautiful is that? I feel like it really, really matches the brown and pink vibe we have on the eyes as well. I'm just gonna kind of perfect the shape really fast. I mean, honestly, I'd be happy wearing this by itself on the lips. It's such a good color. So for lipstick, I couldn't not put this in here. This is the Maybelline Cream Lipstick in the shade Truffle Tease. Not a new Maybelline product at all by any means, but I honestly truly wish I knew about this earlier. There's just something about it. It's got a sheer enough formula to where it really kind of morphs and bends into whatever lip liner you apply, which I love. It's just the perfect nudie beige color. So I'm just gonna press that in the center of the lips. Love that. And then for gloss, I heard so many good things about this for so long. I don't know why I didn't pick this up as soon as I heard good things about it, because it shocks me to this day how incredible this is and how affordable this is. It's the Essence Shine 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 lip gloss. Holy smokes, you guys. This is the clear shade called Behind the Scenes, which you guys have recommended a couple of other shades to me that I need to go pick up, because I feel like it's going to be the same situation when I go pick up the shades that you guys recommended. I will probably feel the same way, like, why didn't I buy these earlier? This gloss is to die for. I mean, I don't even have to say anything. Just like, look at that. The high shine that this gives floors me every time. I cannot believe that this is like $3. It doesn't feel sticky. It feels so balmy and beautiful. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, before we set the face, I'm just going to assess the situation, taking my Lip Bar face palette, and of course, adding a little more bronzer to the forehead. I also feel like now that the eyes and lips are on, I could use a little more blush. So where's my blush brush? Here it is. I'm gonna take that blush from the palette, smile, and just apply that to the apples of the cheeks. Okay, last but not least, I wanted to use the Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. This is gorgeous. I remember when I finally picked this up, I was floored, and it's just so pretty if you really love more of a dewy finish. You want to make sure to shake it before you spray because there is like little iridescent particles in here. I'm gonna go ahead and spritz the face. I like to focus on like the outer portions because, again, I do tend to get oily in the T-zone, but I love to glow on the outside of my face. Using my fan to dry it off. And then I'm going back over everything one last time with the Hailey's Beauty sponge just to make sure everything is locked in. I love how fresh my complexion looks. Wow. Okay, I'm going to finish off with a clear brow gel. This one is from Benefit. The brow products don't really count in this video because I couldn't think of affordable brow products that it took me a long time to try that I love. Because like I am obsessed with the Milani brow pencil and brow gel, but I bought that like on launch day, so I didn't feel like it really counted for this video. All right, you guys, so that completes this makeup look. I love how it turned out. I love it, I love it. It's so fun to use all of these products in one video because, there really is something about all of them that I really love. And even though I wish I would have tried them earlier, at least I have them in my life now, right? I would love to know if you guys have a product like this. Leave it in the comments and let me know what you guys wish you would have tried earlier. I always love hearing from you. And again, huge thanks to Hailey's Beauty for sponsoring today's video. They have been so kind to me, and I'm really happy to finally be working with them on a video. So again, if you want to enter to win this foundation from Hailey's Beauty and their sponge and this makeup bag, I will have all the info in the description box down below. Don't forget to check out their site, especially while the Friends and Family sale is going going on, so I will have that in the description box down below. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you are already a subscriber, but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe, and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it from me today. I truly hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!